Ladies and gentlemen, here's an introduction for your motivational speech in Shi Heng Yi's calm, spiritual, yet deeply engaging style for the topic, When a Man Misses You. He can't hide this. When we speak of connection, we are not only speaking of words, but of presence. There is a silent language that goes beyond what is spoken, a current of energy that flows between two human beings. When a man misses you, he may try to hold back his emotions, he may attempt to mask what he feels, but the truth of the heart is not so easily hidden. His body, his silence, his smallest gestures, they all reveal what his mouth cannot say. To understand this is to step into a deeper awareness of human nature. Missing someone is not weakness, it is not a sign of dependency. It is a reminder that within us lies the natural desire to bond, to remember, to long for presence when absence is felt. And in that longing there is truth. So today, let us look beyond appearances. Let us quiet our own minds enough to notice the signs that cannot be disguised. Because when a man truly misses you, he does not need to announce it. His energy speaks, his actions whisper, his heart betrays what his words try to hide. Would you like me to make this intro soothing and meditative like a guided reflection, or more powerful and dramatic to grip attention immediately? Energy cannot be hidden when a man misses you. His presence or absence speaks louder than his words. Small actions reveal the truth. The smallest gestures often carry the deepest confessions of the heart. Silence carries meaning even without words. Longing is expressed through pauses, attention, and presence. Authenticity always surfaces no matter how much he tries to mask it. Genuine emotions always rise to the surface. Would you like me to now expand each keynote into a 700-word section like we did earlier, or keep them concise for a punchy speech outline? When a man truly misses you, the energy he carries shifts in a way that cannot be hidden. Energy is not something abstract or mystical. It is something that radiates from a person without them realizing it. The way they sit, the way they breathe, even the pauses they take in their sentences reveal what is happening inside. When someone misses you, their mind is not fully present in the moment they are living. A part of them is somewhere else, searching, reaching, longing. This energy translates into their body language and into the atmosphere around them. You can feel it even if no words are spoken. Think of it like this. When you enter a room before anyone speaks, you can sense whether the environment is heavy or light, tense or calm. The energy of those present creates this invisible field. In the same way, when a man misses you, he radiates an energy of longing that cannot be concealed. He may smile, he may laugh, he may try to act as though everything is normal. But there is a vibration beneath the surface that betrays his inner state. This is because energy carries truth, and truth always leaves traces. When the heart is restless, the body follows. His eyes may wander unconsciously to places that remind him of you, or he may glance at his phone more often than usual, as if expecting your presence to return through a message or a call. These small signs are not consciously controlled. They are natural expressions of the inner energy he is carrying. The missing is not a thought he chooses. It is an emotional current that flows through him. And currents cannot be easily stopped. They always find ways to move. Even in his conversations, you may notice shifts. A man who misses you will sometimes pause longer before responding, because his thoughts are elsewhere. He may stumble over words when something reminds him of you, or he may overcompensate, speaking more quickly, laughing louder, or pretending to be more engaged in order to distract himself from what he feels. But even this effort becomes a sign. The attempt to mask the missing creates its own energy of restlessness, which reveals the truth he is trying to hide. Energy is not only revealed outwardly, but also sensed inwardly by those who are attuned. If you are connected to someone, you feel their absence in ways you cannot logically explain. This is the power of human connection. to sense when the other is not fully at peace. When a man misses you, his energy seeks yours, even across distance. His thoughts, like signals, move toward the one who is missed, creating an invisible bridge, and the one on the other side often feels it without knowing why. This is why sometimes you think of someone suddenly, only to discover later that they were thinking of you at the same moment. The truth of energy is that it is not bound by control. A man may try to appear strong, unaffected, or independent, but the longing that comes from genuine connection will seep through his actions and his aura. It is the difference between someone speaking words with no depth and someone whose silence says everything. Missing someone is not about weakness, it is about resonance. When two people resonate at a deep level, absence becomes a sound that both can hear. So when we look at the idea of missing, it is not about chasing proof in words or actions. It is about learning to feel energy, to observe without judgment, and to recognize what cannot be disguised. The energy of longing, once awakened, cannot be fully suppressed. It lives in the body, it moves in the mind, and it radiates outward into the world. This is why, when a man misses you, no matter how hard he tries to conceal it, the truth reveals itself through the energy he carries. Because energy cannot be hidden, the smallest actions often carry the deepest truths, and this becomes most visible when a man misses you. People may believe that emotions are best expressed in grand gestures or through carefully chosen words, but the reality is that the heart speaks most clearly through subtle details. It is in the unconscious behaviors, the little slips of attention, and the almost invisible acts that longing reveals itself. A man who misses you may not declare it outright, but the small things he does are evidence stronger than any spoken statement. Consider how he interacts with the objects around him. Perhaps he holds onto something you once gave him, or keeps it close without ever mentioning it. A keychain, a book, a piece of clothing, these items become more than physical objects. They turn into anchors that remind him of presence in absence. He may not even notice that he is lingering on these objects, but his actions betray the emotional weight they carry. Missing someone transforms ordinary details into silent symbols of attachment. You may notice it in the way he checks his phone. He scrolls absent-mindedly, then suddenly stops, staring at the screen as if waiting for something that never appears. This is not just a habit. It is the longing for a message, a signal, some kind of bridge that connects him to the one he misses. Even if he tries to disguise it by putting the phone aside quickly, the repetition of this action speaks louder than any attempt to hide it. Small gestures like these reveal the truth his words may try to cover. The way he speaks also contains clues. When someone misses you, they often weave fragments of you into conversation without realizing it. He may bring up a memory casually, or mention something that relates to you, even when the topic does not require it. These are not deliberate strategies. They are signs of where his mind wanders when left unguarded. The tongue follows the heart, and when the heart longs, the words follow in the same direction. Even the way his tone softens when recalling something connected to you is a small but undeniable action that reveals missing. Another detail can be seen in his patterns of attention. When a man misses you, his focus shifts toward things that remind him of you. He may suddenly take interest in a hobby you enjoy, listen to a song you once mentioned, or visit places linked to your presence. He may even walk through a street where you once were together, not admitting why, but drawn there by the quiet pull of memory. These are small actions that the conscious mind may try to dismiss, but they are strong indicators of emotional truth. Longing moves him in directions he does not entirely control. Even gestures as subtle as how he reacts when your name appears reveal what he feels. A quick spark in his eyes, a change in his breathing, or a sudden attempt to compose himself are not random occurrences. They are automatic responses born from emotion. Missing is a state of mind that does not stay confined. It leaks into reactions, slips into movements, and expresses itself through even the smallest actions. Often, it is in the absence of exaggeration where truth becomes most visible. Large intentional actions can be staged or performed, but the little ones are spontaneous. They bypass calculation. This is why the smallest gestures carry such weight. They are pure reflections of the heart. If he lingers too long on a photograph, if he unconsciously smiles at a memory, if his voice changes when recalling your presence, these are truths spoken without intention. They are the heart's language, unfiltered and unplanned. When you learn to notice these details, you begin to see the deeper reality beneath appearances. Missing is not always spoken, but it is always expressed. It hides in actions so subtle that only an attentive eye can recognize them. Every unconscious move is like a window into the longing he feels, and through those windows the heart quietly announces its truth. Silence carries meaning in ways that words never can, and this becomes especially clear when a man misses you. Human beings often rely on language to communicate, yet language has limits. Words can be chosen carefully, arranged to conceal, or spoken to distract from what is truly felt. Silence, on the other hand, is much more difficult to control. It reveals itself in the spaces between conversations, in the pauses that linger, and in the unspoken tension that hangs in the air. When someone is holding on to longing, their silence becomes heavy with unexpressed truth. When a man misses you, his silences are not empty. They are filled with thoughts he cannot easily articulate. You may notice him pausing longer before responding to questions, as if part of his mind has drifted elsewhere. This drifting is not intentional. It is the natural pull of memory and feeling. The quietness around him speaks volumes. It says he is remembering, reflecting, or wishing for your presence, even if he does not voice it. In this way, silence becomes a direct channel between emotion and expression, bypassing words altogether. There are also moments when silence shows itself in avoidance. He may choose not to speak about certain topics because they remind him of you. He may leave sentences unfinished, allowing the unspoken meaning to linger in the air. This avoidance is not emptiness. It is an overflow of presence. He withholds words not because he feels nothing, but because he feels too much. Silence becomes a protective layer, covering emotions that are too raw or vulnerable to expose directly. At other times, silence manifests as attentiveness. He listens more intently than usual, not rushing to speak, but allowing the moment to stretch. This quiet listening is not just politeness, it is a sign of presence rooted in longing. When someone misses you, they crave every detail of your words, every tone, every nuance. Their silence becomes an act of absorbing, a way of holding on to connection. In these moments, his lack of speech communicates a depth of care that words could never capture. Silence also carries meaning in absence. Consider the spaces between communication, the gaps where messages are not sent or calls are not made. These silences are not always signs of disinterest. Sometimes they reveal hesitation, the internal struggle of someone who wants to reach out but cannot bring themselves to do it. The silence becomes the battleground of desire and restraint, of longing and pride. When a man misses you but chooses not to show it openly, the silence he leaves behind is louder than any declaration. In another sense, silence can act as a mirror. It reflects what is hidden within him. You can see it in the way he grows quiet when your name is mentioned, or how the room feels different when the thought of you enters his mind. Even without words, the air becomes charged with something unspoken. This atmosphere of silence carries the energy of what he does not dare to admit. It is the weight of unexpressed feelings that transforms ordinary quiet into meaningful silence. Missing someone often creates a paradox. The more he tries to hide it, the more silence exposes it. Words can be rehearsed, but silences cannot. They arrive naturally, unexpectedly, and often reveal more truth than any spoken confession. The gaps between his laughter, the sudden hush after a memory surfaces, the hesitation before he replies, these are all forms of silence that communicate longing without a single word. Silence, then, is not the absence of communication, but another form of it. It is the unsaid that speaks, the pause that holds weight, the gap that reveals presence in absence. When a man misses you, his silence is not empty space. It is filled with the resonance of everything he wishes he could say, but cannot bring himself to voice. In these quiet spaces, the truth of his longing becomes undeniable. Authenticity has a way of rising to the surface, no matter how hard someone tries to bury it, and this is especially true when a man misses you. He may put effort into appearing composed, confident, and unaffected, but emotions that are genuine cannot stay hidden forever. They find expression in tone, in movement, in patterns of behavior that are beyond conscious control. What is authentic always leaks through, because authenticity is stronger than performance. When a man feels the pull of longing, no amount of discipline or distraction can erase the subtle signs that reveal what he carries inside. He may attempt to distract himself with work, hobbies, or social activity. Outwardly, it looks as if he is fully engaged, but inwardly there is a split. The mind can pretend, but the heart refuses to cooperate. This conflict between the mask he wears and the truth he feels creates small cracks in his presentation. His laughter may sound just slightly hollow, his eyes may lose focus for a moment, or his voice may soften unexpectedly when a memory is triggered. These cracks are not flaws, they are the entry points where authenticity reveals itself. Human beings are wired for connection, and that wiring cannot be overridden by sheer willpower. When someone misses you, that authentic connection resurfaces in moments when they least expect it. He might find himself mentioning your name when telling a story, or recalling a detail you once shared, even when he had no plan to bring it up. The unconscious mind is honest in this way. It betrays what the conscious mind tries to suppress. Authentic longing always makes its way to the surface, often in the smallest and most natural ways. Even attempts to deny missing someone can become signs of authenticity. If he insists too strongly that he has moved on or acts overly casual when you are mentioned, these reactions often reveal the opposite of what they intend. Overcompensation is a clear indication that emotion lies underneath. Authenticity does not disappear simply because it is resisted. Instead, it transforms into behaviors that point directly to the truth. It is like a river pressing against a dam. The harder it is contained, the more powerful the pressure becomes, until drops of truth begin to escape. Body language is another space where authenticity always emerges. Unlike words, body language is difficult to control fully. The eyes, the hands, the posture all reveal inner states more accurately than speech. When a man misses you, his eyes might linger longer than necessary, or he may avoid eye contact altogether because it feels too vulnerable. His body may lean slightly toward you without his awareness, or his hands may fidget in nervousness. These are authentic responses, untouched by calculation. They happen spontaneously because they reflect what he truly feels. Authenticity also surfaces in timing. He may reach out unexpectedly, sending a message at a late hour when his guard is down. Or he may show up in moments that coincide with anniversaries, memories, or events linked to you, even if he does not acknowledge the reason. These actions may appear random, but they are guided by genuine emotion. Missing someone leaves imprints on the subconscious, and these imprints shape behavior in ways the mind cannot fully control. What is authentic always finds expression through patterns like these. Another layer of authenticity lies in emotional intensity. When he misses you, the emotional energy is difficult to flatten or disguise. It shows in the way he reacts more strongly to things connected with you. His voice may warm, his mood may shift, his demeanor may change quickly when reminded of your presence. These fluctuations are signals that he cannot manufacture or suppress entirely. They come from a depth that exists beneath performance. The core truth is that authenticity cannot be faked, nor can it be permanently hidden. Attempts to conceal emotion may work temporarily, but genuine feelings always resurface because they carry too much weight to remain buried. The more a man tries to mask that he misses you, the more authenticity will find subtle ways to reveal itself. It rises through the smallest gestures, the briefest pauses, and the quietest tones, reminding both him and you that truth cannot be erased, only delayed.